Hi, and welcome back to the Nita Black Show. Um, we have a lot of questions that are coming about the videos and exactly how people are able to be in the industry and not, talk about these things, not say what's going on with the bad parts that are happening so that the industry can get better. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about, you guys asked about Bill Cosby and how can that go on for so long. Um, how could they come after Bill Cosby and they haven't come after all of the other people? You have white people that have been accused of stuff and they still have their jobs. You have people that have done things and seem like the white people in the industry just keep on going, but they take down, the black people in the industry. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to uh, leave a link to some of the books in the video, in the description, and so you guys can actually see some of the stuff that's happening. I try to break it down for even teenagers getting into the business, parents trying to get their children into the business. I try to break it down so that you guys understand that this business can be a good thing, but it has always been a predatory type situation since it was established. So you're really talking about people that would have to have a lot of courage in order to get this information out. And in the process, you guys just allowed them to do the whole to end the net neutrality situation. So now, immediately, as soon as it was up, you had different social media sites and different websites that were actually controlling what you guys see. So now you're going to be seeing even more negative stuff, and they're going to be suppressing uh, the the positive stuff or the stuff that you guys need to see, you need to hear about, you need to know about. So you guys are going to have to really start paying attention to what's going on and start putting your foot down, putting your voices out there to really let them know this is what we want. And we don't care if, 50,000 people want negative. It's time for some positive. And when you put negative out there, there's going to be, we're not going to put our consumer dollars behind that. And we're going to make sure our children don't put their consumer dollar or our consumer dollar still behind that. And there are some things that you can really do in numbers to put yourself in a position to have more positive stuff for you, for your children, for your little bitty ones with cartoons and whatnot. You guys are allowing this stuff to happen, and they take advantage of the fact that some of you don't know it's happening, and others of you are too busy to really deal with the fact that it's happening. So you guys can like and subscribe to the videos on the channel, and I'm going to really start breaking down for you, for the black community especially, exactly what is going on, and when you hear these different things, exactly what you can immediately do about it so that you can start fixing some of this stuff before the next 5 years. Because if you look back 10 years ago, you knew, or people knew, that the situation was going to get this bad. And if you look 10 years ahead, it's not going to get much better unless people start doing things differently. So when it comes to the books and stuff, the books, not everybody's going to like them. There's a lot of people that do not appreciate the books because the books tell the truth. And what you have right now is people who are trying their best to suppress the truth. The truth is what wakes you up. So if they want you to stay asleep, if they want you to stay a zombie, if they want you to sit in front of the TV and be programmed all day long, have you let your children sit in front of the TV and be programmed all day long, then they definitely don't want you listening to the truth or reading or any of that stuff that would get your mind asking questions about what's really going on. Okay, so the book series, the ABCs of Blackness, I really break it down for you guys exactly what's happening with black entertainers and with black people. So you want to go through the series and see what really applies to you, what applies to whatever is going on with your children and whatnot. There's even some things in there for those of you that whose children have gotten caught up in the industry and you're wondering, why are they wilding out if they got all this money? They should be, things should be better once you have the money, because you tell yourself when you don't have money that if you just had $1 million, everything would be great. And then your child or you get $1 million in the industry and things seem like they just go completely out of control. So what happens in with the people inside the industry? When you're outside looking in, it looks wonderful. It looks, you see all the fabulous clothes, the different lifestyles, the houses, the cars, and all that good stuff. But when you're on the inside of this thing, it is a cancer. It is like a disease. It is an addiction, just like any addiction you see on the city streets. They are addicted to fame. They are addicted to, the money. They're addicted to women. They're addicted to men. They're addicted to alcohol. They're addicted to heavy drugs, all kinds of things. So they have the same problems that everybody else has. It's just that it's put out there in the public so people are able to see it on a daily basis. Now, you got people talking about, Bill Cosby deserved to go down. This is a man that did everything that white folks asked him to do over the span of his entire career. And then when he got to be an older person and said, look, I don't have nothing against the homosexual people personally, but I'm not with this homosexual agenda. You got a lot of people saying, I'm not with this homosexual agenda. I believe that this thing is, this stuff, a man getting with a man is wrong. I believe a female getting with a female is wrong. I'm not for that. I'm not for you pushing this stuff on children, telling children that if a girl feel like a boy, she should dress like a boy. If a boy feel like a girl, he should dress like a girl. They telling people, I'm not with that, and it has become almost a career lynching when people don't go along with this agenda. And we're going to talk about what this agenda really is about. This is about pedophilia. The homosexual agenda is 100% about pedophilia. You got a bunch of homosexual people that in the 80s adopted and went to the DFAC and got little bitty children. They were able to get little bitty children. And so now those children that the priests mess with, that homosexual priests, homosexual nuns, homosexual entertainers, homosexual judges, homosexuals, everything mess with, are now 40 and 50 years old, and they have raised their children to think that this is okay. You have children now that have been raised by two females that were sleeping together. You got males that were raised by two males that were sleeping together. And so now the children are actually literally walking out there, prostituting themselves. People are offering them, if you go to Hollywood at a certain time of night, usually after 10 p.m., between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., you got literally people that drive up in cars and offer males You got male people that drive up in cars and offer males 20, 40, 50, sometimes $100 if they're resistant, to do things to these males in these cars. And if you're a black male that can't find a job, or you're a young male that's trying to, that just got out of juvenile detention or whatever, these are the ones that they're looking for. These are the ones that they're searching out there for, to give them $20 to do things. And once a male does these things, he feels really, really bad about himself. Once he lets people do these things to him in order to get certain things, it's real hard for them to sleep at night. Once a female entertainer feels like she was supposed to be, out there having a good time, and now she's just a prostitute in the industry, it makes her feel really, really low. And so I want you guys to understand, Bill Cosby was not the only person out here doing this stuff. He couldn't even get the stuff on his own. A white person had to give him the pills that they're talking about. They had to, black males couldn't just go up and get white women. White males usually provided those white women. So what you have is a industry that every single show you watch, every talent show, every soap opera, every single show you watch, reality shows especially, every single show has a casting couch. Every studio, every modeling studio, every casting agency, every single place that you see in Hollywood has some sort of casting couch where you got to do something in order to get a part. So don't y'all stop thinking it's just Bill Cosby. Stop thinking it's just these few people that they throw under the bus. It is thousands of people that are out there preying upon people when they come into the Hollywood industry. So y'all be careful if you were trying to get in, if you're trying to get your children in, be very, very careful. If something seems like it just goes against everything that you believe in, let that contract stay on the table and go and find something else that your children can do. I hope that answers your questions. You know how I do. They're trying to suppress all of these videos that's telling you guys the truth, but if I'm still here, we're going to deal with some things. Bye.